Welcome to our introductory training session for mentors who will be supporting early career teachers. Firstly, thank you for taking on such a pivotal role, which will shape and influence the personal and professional development of teachers entering the profession in September. Now, some of you have already may be familiar with some of the changes from previous NQT year to the new ECT or Early Career Teacher Induction Programme. However, the aim of today's session are to give you a brief overview of why these changes have taken place, the introduction of the new teaching school hubs, to give you sight of the early career framework, and to provide you with the key information required for your role as a mentor. So let's meet the centralised ECF team at Teach South East. We come with a range of both primary and secondary experience with varying backgrounds from initial teacher training to supporting NQTs. We pride ourselves at being at the forefront of change, but know that we cannot develop such initiatives without our extended team of schools, mentors, induction tutors, and ECTs themselves. Each school will be allocated a specific team member to support with any queries, training and challenges you may have along the way, and we hope this will bring clarity, understanding and a speedy resolution to any communication you may have. So the Xavier Teaching School Hub have put together this short video which outlines the background of the early career framework and how the hub aims to work with local schools and Teach First to provide all schools and early career teachers with the support they need during and beyond this transition period.
Xavier Teaching School Hub are excited by the opportunity that the early career framework presents. The £125 million committed by the DFE to improve provision for new teachers gives you as a school the chance to choose the best provider to suit your needs. At Xavier, looking after staff in order to retain them and ensure the best experience for our students is at the heart of all we do. We know early career teachers directly impact the quality of education in our schools and the outcomes for pupils. The golden thread of teacher development is pivotal to support this vision. Designed by lead providers, the ECF offers a 2-year funded programme for ECTs and their mentors as a statutory entitlement. These providers have partnered with new teaching school hubs, who in turn will deliver the programme locally for schools in their area. At Xavier, we have chosen to work with Teach First as the provider because of their evidence-based approach. In collaboration with Teach First, Teach South East, Xavier's ITT and appropriate body provider, will deliver the ECF and continue to facilitate first-class teacher education informed by research. Judged as outstanding by Ofsted, Teach South East's established centralised team provide extensive expertise and knowledge of working with ECTs in their schools, ensuring a smooth transition from ITT to ECF. Using an extensive network of valued relationships, Xavier will ensure that primary, secondary and non-mainstream schools in Surrey and others that choose to work with us get the best offer. All our strategic lead schools are geographically well placed to ensure that ECTs can engage with the programme conveniently. Alongside the core ECF, Teach South East will continue its work as an appropriate body, offering an enhanced provision with access to online conferences and the option to follow a 3-year programme to Masters accreditation through our partnership with the University of Sussex. We hope that you can see in Xavier and Teach South East, you will get exceptional personalised provision for your school, a provider who has a reputation for success and leading new initiatives, skilled and experienced team to lead you and your staff, network and knowledge of local strategic schools, unique opportunities to engage with enhanced provision, value for money.
So why have these changes been introduced? There may be some of you who have been NQT mentors before who may question why they are required. They come from the findings from the white paper in January 2019, which highlighted that there was a challenge that teachers at the start of their careers don't always get the support they need to build a successful career, and at the moment too many teachers were leaving the profession. And this led to the introduction of the early career framework being put into place to ensure consistency across experiences for all early career teachers and extending the support into a second year. This aims to ensure that they continue to receive the training, opportunities for professional learning conversations and access to rigorous induction programme beyond their first year as they develop as professionals. During the ITT year, you may or may not be aware that there is a framework that underpins the training of trainee teachers, and that is called the Core Content Framework. This ensures that all trainee teachers receive the same elements of training, no matter which provider they train with. From September, the same will be true for ECTs, and this is called the Early Career Framework and underpins the ECT development for the next 2 years. It is organised into 5 strands: behaviour management, pedagogy, curriculum, assessment and professional behaviours. These are separate but linked to the teaching standards. Essentially, it is a development and training tool to ensure high standards of support in their early careers, and it's written by the same group as the ITT core framework to ensure continuity for early career teachers. It is set out in exactly the same format as a core framework, which ensures an ease of progression and understanding from trainee teachers into their first year of teaching. So to start off, let's focus on the ECT, the structure of their programme and the training they will receive, and then we can move on to your role as the mentor in support of this. Our ECTs are fortunate to be in the position that these reforms happen from this September, and that the government has funded and committed to ensuring that they are offered this enhanced provision with the aim to support and retain teachers moving forward. So what are the main changes? It will now be a 2-year induction programme underpinned by the Early Career Framework. In the first year, ECTs will receive 10% release time, and in the second year, this will be 5% release time. All ECTs will receive bespoke mentoring for the 2-year induction period. They will now be assessed twice over the programme with formal reviews at key stages in their development. QTS will still be awarded after the ITT year, with ECTs continuing to progress up the pay scales in their first year. So who will support your ECT? You've met the centralised team, who in itself is supported by the ECF provider mentioned in the video, in our case, Teach First. You are the mentoring school engaging each week in mentor meetings and observations and discussions. And they're supporting you and your ECT is an induction tutor whose role is to monitor and support the school induction and undertake assessments alongside you. Each half term comprises of 1 module with a specific focus for the ECT. For each module, there are 2 lots of 90-minute sessions where the ECTs come together in groups of around 20 to 25 to discuss and debate the training content, their own experiences in relation to the module focus. There is no surprise that Module 1 centres around creating a powerful learning environment and how pupils learn. These seminars will aim to be primarily face-to-face, but will also be recorded to allow the flexibility required if an ECT is isolating. However, there is also supplementary training on several nights a week. If they're unable to make it for other reasons, they can simply choose another location and attend in person. For each module, the ECT is allocated self-directed study time, encompassing a range of exemplification materials, online activities and reflection. All these materials will be held centrally on an online platform called Brightspace, which I shall outline in more detail later. There is a half-termly cycle of agreeing development needs, practicing their craft, receiving feedback and having the opportunity to practice with their mentor. In terms of assessment, there are 4 progress reviews and 2 formal assessment points over the 2-year induction period, and your induction tutor will be prompted in advance when to complete these in collaboration with the mentor. The DfE appointed 6 national providers to develop the content and materials to support the ECF, and last year there was a pilot of this induction programme to prepare for the full rollout in September. As you saw in the introductory video, we chose to work with Teach First due to the values behind their programme and the high quality of resources they provide. However, if you are a school in any of the Surrey and Hampshire and working with the teaching school hubs of Xavier or South Farnham, both of these hubs have chosen to work with Teach First. So this is an overview of the first year into the 3 terms, and you can see the 6 modules there, which start with how to create your powerful learning environment and extend on to how you can plan a coherent curriculum. For each of these modules, there is an expectation there is self-study materials for the ECT. There will be a weekly mentor meeting with yourself, 2 training sessions that will be delivered by the Teaching School Hub using a range of either strategic schools or delivery schools who will be trained by Teach First to facilitate the training session for your ECT. Some schools may choose to continue to run their own high quality CPD sessions, which can be run alongside these and because they're bespoke to schools and can complement the course. There will also be a progress review for each module. Now let's look at how you're going to access some of these resources. I mentioned before Brightspace. All ECTs and mentors will have access to Brightspace, and this access will be available from the beginning of the autumn term. Each module will be outlined in an overview for each session, well-designed content to promote successful self-study, a choice of tools to help improve their teaching, informed by research such as Rosenshine's principle of instructions, videos of real-life teachers in the classroom demonstrating best practice in a range of school settings, reflective activities to encourage the ECT to consider their own practice, videos from experts such as Tom Bennett and Dylan Williams, planned content to take to mentor meetings, knowledge checks for mentors, reference lists with access to a wide range of relevant reading, stretch content for secure ECTs, and 10-minute summarization videos for mentors to highlight the self-study areas that the ECT has engaged in. You can click on the link on the slide if you'd like to have a look at Brightspace. This can be found through that link. So now we know that the changes ahead for ECTs. Let's focus on your role as a mentor and what this will look like week on week. The next section will focus on the training and communication you will receive, some key dates to get into your diary now, how often you will observe and for how long, your involvement in assessment and instructional coaching as a tool for demonstrating good practice. If we continue to look at module 1, but now in a broader sense, the ECT sections are in grey and you can see the self-directed study on the left and there's seminars on the right. And you can see the mentor interaction, which involves either a discussion or observation each week. And this varies at different stages of the year. So you can see there is an initial discussion, then a series of observations, and then each week you will come together to discuss these in the form of a meeting. The observations on the Teach First programme are suggested to be around 15 to 20 minutes with a very specific focus that can be demonstrated to them in the discussion afterwards. However, if your school wants to continue to have some additional full lesson observations in the early stages of the ECT's year, then these can be organised to complement these. Ideally, at your mentor meetings, for you to engage fully with your ECT, you would, and what they've learned about their self-study, you would need to have read the same materials. But to avoid this, you will be provided with a 10-minute familiarisation video each week, which will summarise their self-study and signpost you to the best areas to discuss. These will be sent to you each week in the form of a mentor bulletin. An example is in front here. You will notice that in this weekly bulletin, they have been separated into different areas by icons, which symbolise the different elements of your role, and each week we will provide information or updates on these. This is just a draft of the first week to give you an indication of the type of support and content we will provide on a weekly basis. The aim is to provide quick links and succinct information to allow you to have everything in place for your mentor meetings each week. A closer look at these icons show you that you will have information on the ECT's self-directed study, their centralised seminars, information to prepare you for your mentor meetings, those 10-minute videos, your own mentor seminar training that you may have, and observations and feedback. You will, of course, have your mentor seminars to support with your role. These seminars are going to be all online, and they will be run twice on a week on either a Tuesday or a Thursday at the same time, so you can choose which you attend. These are the titles provided by Teach First, so the dates for your diary to pencil in whichever ones work for you. Assessment. The school induction tutor is a named person for undertaking any assessments in school. But it goes without saying that although it is their responsibility, you are the key person observing your ECT on a regular basis, and your knowledge and understanding will inform this assessment process. And if you look over the table over the 2-year period, in year 1, there are progress reviews each term, leading to a formal assessment, and this is replicated in year 2. The assessment process. In addition to this, we will work with your school to register and recommend your ECT at the end of the year, 2 years, support your senior staff to assess ECTs accurately and fairly, work with underperforming ECTs to ensure that them and yourself are fully supported, and to continue to provide you with a key member of the central team as a named person to communicate with. As your school is using Teach South East to support their early career teacher, they will also be using us as an appropriate body. Specific to us, we offer an enhanced programme for your early career teacher, which offers keynote conferences once per term, Master's 3-year programme to Masters in Education with Sussex University, faith-based pathway in partnership with Guildford Diocese 1 per term. All of the above can be opted into at any time, and they are all totally optional for your early career teacher. So finally, frequently asked questions that we've been asked. What is the difference between the induction tutor and the mentor? The induction tutor has an overview and supports mentors and ECTs across the school and is responsible for the assessments and collaborating with you. Can I be both the induction tutor and a mentor? Some larger schools with many ECTs may have this in place. Yes, you can. Ideally, if you are the induction tutor, you would not undertake the assessment of the ECT you're mentoring, that you could change that role with somebody else. Can I mentor more than one ECT? Yes, and that is regularly the case. Does the ECT need to do both years? Yes, they do. They are a requirement. What if the ECT is part-time? We previously used NQT Manager, which is now ECT Manager, and that works out pro rata the date that the assessments are due if your ECT is working part-time. Can they move to a different school after their first year? Yes, they can. They will take their induction and their funding with them. And do they have to complete any additional evidence? If they are engaging with Brightspace, Brightspace will accumulate the evidence over time. Our understanding at this time is that they will not need to provide any additional evidence. So finally, if you have any additional questions not noted above, then please contact Amy Harper at a.harper@sjb.surrey.sch.uk. And finally, thank you for supporting your ECT at this crucial time in their career.